Welcome everyone to the grand finale of Mass Marine Medevac 2 Grandmaster. This grand finale is going to be a bit different from usual. I asked you guys for your suggestions and you gave me the units you guys wanted to see. For every single game, I'm going to be adding one specific unit. One of the most popular ones was Ravens. Some people wanted Ghost, Thors. Let's see how it goes. So first opponent is gonna be a Terran. Okay, for TVT, there's a few interesting options. Now, I listed the units you guys wanted to see the most. I can actually name them straight from the start. We actually played against Run Amok before. If you guys are curious, there was one episode where I DC'd against an opponent, and it was actually Run Amok, this guy here. And I did lose 50 points to him, so now it only seems right if we get it back. Now, the 8 units you guys wanted to see the most, or is it 7? Counting is hard. Were Ravens, Ghosts, Battlecruisers, Liberators, Thors, Marauders, Hellbats, and Tanks. Now, I'm only allowed to make one unit extra in each. So I have Marines plus Medevacs plus one more unit, right? Now, in TVT, there's a few interesting options. Obviously, Tanks speaks for itself. Though Tanks would be very, very basic. That's almost like playing in normal TVT. So I'm trying to think what would be the most interesting. I think Ravens might be the most interesting because normally you have Marine Tanks and Ravens, but here, if I have just Marine Raven, I don't have the firepower of the tanks, but if I maybe... Oh, my microphone is taking off. Hope it's gonna stay put for now. That was actually a little bit... not sure if you guys could see that. It was actually just like flying away. I might have to do some... Actually, I'm gonna try fix it real quick. Let me pause this game over here.
Game paused.
Alright, here we go. Now, I'm actually not sure if you guys could see it. I hope it doesn't happen again. I tightened the screw a little bit in the microphone. Hope it doesn't take off again. That would be a little bit annoying. But I think I was talking about the fact that, you know, I'm not going to have the firepower of the tanks, but maybe with Marine Raven mobility, I should be able to outposition. If I play very well, I think it actually has extreme potential. Of course, so far, every time we lost, not quite sure how many TVTs we lost, but it felt like... You know, I maybe could have won if I had Ravens more than anything else, so that's going to be interesting to see. Now, a big problem with this is that Marine Raven is not a normal composition. And where the problem in that is that I don't have a fluent build for it. Because imagine this, right? Normally you take a lot of gas, you make tanks and Ravens non-stop pretty much, or tanks and Vikings and stuff, right? But now I'm going to have to make just enough gas to be able to afford Ravens without ruining my entire build order. So I'm not quite sure when I can actually get the Ravens in. I think it's definitely going to be a bit more of a late game thing over here. So I'm going to open with my standard 2-on-1. Yeah, well, yeah, standard. It's definitely a bit weird, but I'm going to open with a 2-on-1. Try to keep the pressure on, and then hope I get Ravens out in time to combat a tank push. And this can be countered by just pushing before I get a lot of Ravens out. But maybe in that case I could go for some base trades and whatnot. So we'll have to see. But I am pretty excited about this idea. I kind of wished it was a bigger map actually. Because on a small map like this, sometimes you don't have time to outposition your enemy. Because if they just push straight to the middle, there's not going to be a lot of room for outplays and stuff, right? So a little bit worried about that, but... we'll see how it goes. Let's not get too scared. Now I am gonna make a bunker. We did actually kill a Reaper, which is gonna make me feel a little bit more safe. Normally a Reaper is pretty deadly. Or like Reaper Hellion in particular, like the early game army is pretty deadly, not the Reaper on itself. But I still I don't want to die. This is the grand finale after all. Normally in the grand finale we always play banger after banger. And I don't want this one to be any different. Now, I hope you guys actually like this format, by the way, of me going for... Instead of just making a really long episode where I try to play the best games possible, I'm also going to try to switch it up a little bit for the last 2 episodes. Also, this grand finale, I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet, is going to be split in 2 episodes. So I'm going to try to get as many of the units you guys wanted to see in. And then that's going to be it for this entire show. And then we're going to move on to the next one. I do have to say, at the time I'm recording this video... I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do next, what challenge, and it's scaring me a little bit, because before, I felt like I always had a pretty clear roadmap, but now I'm still not so sure. Am I going to play Protoss? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? I honestly really don't know, so we're going to have to see. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed these episodes at least. If you do enjoy it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well, of course, so you don't miss out on any future challenges. Now, since we're going for Ravens here, I think I'm gonna play a little bit more macro heavy. Normally I try to get an absurd amount of damage in with a 3rd barracks and stuff like that, but here I think it's probably smarter to go for a third CC, so I can actually get into Ravens at some point.
Not enough
Now, he did scan me, and I wonder what his reaction to it is gonna be.
Not enough minerals.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. My girlfriend needed something urgent. Don't really like pausing twice in one game. That was a bit unexpected, but... yeah, let's try to... I do need to regain my focus, because I did forget a little bit of what I was talking about, because I was just shocked by someone entering my studio when there was no one supposed to be home. I think we're gonna go for the double upgrades. And yeah, I'm a little bit worried about what he's gonna have in defense. I'm definitely gonna scan his base before going in. Let's see what we can find. Oh, he already saw me. Then I'm just gonna unload here. Keep in mind that I mostly just want to contain him until I get like a little Ravens out, basically. Now, how many barracks do I make before getting into Ravens? That is the question. Let me saturate these gases. Yeah, so he has yeah, I was gonna say he has everything in his main. There's basically nothing here. I wonder if I can kill that gas. That is probably way too ambitious of me, but I think I might be able to kill the gas. Any damage is damage, guys. Oh, there's no gas there. Come on, dude. Let me do some damage. What the hell is this? Well, maybe I can actually kill the bottom gas too. I didn't notice that, but I can. That is pretty good. Like a Terran on 2 gas can actually not make a whole lot of stuff. Now, I think I'm gonna go up to 5 racks and then go for... It just seems like then I will have the right amount of Marines to combat his army for a bit. Hold it off more like than combat it. Until I get my Ravens out. Here goes barracks 4 and 5. Once again, sorry for the interruptions, guys. I didn't... not usually my plan to be distracted that much. Hope my commentary hasn't gone off the path too much. Now, wait, I have combat shields already. That is really not bad. And this is the advantage of 2-on-1. Very often I talk about how 2-on-1 is a little bit of an outdated build. But here you can actually see the strengths. Notice how I'm just very comfortably landing my 3rd base. And my opponent is really just scared on 2 bases because I have Stim, I have Combat Shield. I don't have the perfect army composition like he has, but I do have an army that can pounce on him before he has good upgrades, so it's going to allow me to take more of the map and especially get a better economy than him. Now, I think I'm actually going to add 2 starports already. I know it's a little bit crazy. Don't think this is something you would normally ever see, but it is. I actually find this very exciting because this seems... if you guys don't know much about my pro gamer career, by the way, this seems like something I would just try. I love trying out random crazy builds just in the hope of finding something this works. And this totally looks like something I would actually try. Which is just, you know, feels fantastic to be able to do that in a challenge. Now, at this point, I really think he's just being defensive on 2 base. But I'm actually going to send out Marines to check hidden bases anyway. Yeah, you never know when they're going to do something crazy like that, so... They make a sensor tower, and I'm gonna get Ravens up. Let's get the upgrade for the Ravens, and this is when it's gonna start being really interesting. Now, the one thing I'm not gonna be able to make that is usually very important in this composition is the Vikings. Like, I do not have any kind of air control. I just have to kind of come in for a surprise attack, disable all the tanks with my interference matrices, and that's about it. Heal. Oh, didn't need to. Now, there's no hidden bases found, so I'm actually just up by 16 workers mining pretty much, which is incredible. Now, these Ravens should definitely be hidden, by the way. I think if I can hide these... Yeah, he's still just chilling at home. I did see some units here on the left side. Or was it just like 1 Marine, maybe? I think it was probably just 1 Marine. Okay. And I really wonder what his game plan is now. What he's doing is very standard. That he's just waiting for really long. But the Ravens might just change all of his plans. Now, I did forget my 2-2 for a bit. That's a little bit of a mistake. I'm gonna get these extra gases, which is a little bit sketchy. Because, you know, I mentioned before, I'm not actually gonna make tanks or anything, so... I might just end up banking like a ton of gas, but we'll see. I'm gonna get the armor for the Raven as well, why not? Let's see. Oh, now we're moving out. I'm gonna pretend to stim in. There we go. So he sieges. And every second I buy is just gonna be perfect. I'm gonna bait the shot so I can walk here without being hurt. Let's go. Make sure my gas SCVs are actually routing properly. Let's see, maybe stim in again. There we go. I can get that Cyclone actually pretty easily. There we go. Oh, I tried to micro the Marine, but I still got hit for about 10 of those guys. Making my forts here at the same time. Let's see, what are his upgrades? 1-1. Yeah, I'm afraid his upgrades are just the same as mine. I really hoped I was going to be a little bit ahead. Obviously, I'm going to end up being ahead in Raven count here. These SCVs are not doing... that one SCV is not doing anything. Slacking at the job. Let's get this saturated. I should probably go for a really high SCV count. Just so I can actually trade. Like, I definitely have a trading composition rather than an efficiency composition, right? I mean, we've had some incredible efficiency so far. In particular against Zerg, I think, on this this challenge. But normally, you're not really meant to be efficient. So he's just going to chill at home. He really is going to be playing a long game. And keep in mind, at this point, this could totally have something to do with him knowing who I am. I played him before. Yeah, in general, I feel like most Terrans probably have a good idea of who I am if my name is Stim A-Move, right? But he doesn't know that I'm actually going for Raven. So this is actually a really good secret that we have. Wait, what just happened? Was that a Widowmine? Dude, my brain was still busy talking to you guys, and I just saw an explosion, and I was like, what just happened? I guess it was one Widowmine. I really thought 2 tanks were shooting me or something. I guess I kind of tripped a little bit too hard there. And now he sees my Starport. He sees my Raven. Okay, this is what he's like. Hold up a second. What is going on here? Isn't this Marine only? This is not supposed to happen. Now I have 7 Ravens. 7 Ravens with the amount of energy I have can probably disable about 10 siege tanks. So I feel like there's no chance. Yeah, yeah, he's gonna siege here. I need to be very... I don't want to show these Ravens at all. What I want to do is hide these Ravens here. Oh wait, he's actually... I might be able to crush him here, guys. This is gonna be very interesting here, what's gonna happen. Are you guys ready for this? Here we go! Oh, I got all of them! Let's freaking go! My army is way bigger! He's gonna lose every single medevac here. And every single siege tank. And the Raven flank has absolutely cleared him up. And I think that's gonna be it. Let's freaking go. And in this game, guys... the strategy looked absolutely perfect. We had the map control, like I said. I feel like everything went as I said. We had the map control. We made the Raven transition. And this actually looked like a build I could try on my main LMR. This looked pretty incredible. Very happy with how this went down. So that's Ravens down. You guys wanted to see Ravens. There we go. Now let's move on to another composition. Alright, second game of the day is also going to be a Terran player. Now we've had the Ravens. What is another beautiful composition we can use with Marines against Terran? You know, I'm actually pretty curious if I could make Marauders work. I feel like... let me just explain for full clarity, right? Normally, Marauders in TVT are pretty much useless. You make them against mech, and what I mean against mech, I don't mean if someone has tanks with their Marines. I quite literally mean if they're playing, you know, Hellbat tank Thor, so then you make Marauders. If you play against Marine tank, Marauders are useless for the reason that it's basically a worse Marine, you know? It just gets absolutely destroyed by Marines. There's just no point to make them. But I'm still curious if I could make it work, if I have some kind of, like, magical flank where the Marauders are shooting the tanks and my Marines are shooting... Ooh, I accidentally clicked that depot away. And my Marines are shooting his Marines. It's a little bit crazy, but I could make it work. The only thing is, I feel like if I talk about Marine Marauder, you guys might rather have me play that against Protoss or maybe against Zerg. I think against Zerg would be pretty cool as well. What other option do we have? I guess we could go for it. Actually, Liberators are not a bad idea too. Battle Cruisers. Marine Battle Cruiser. What if I just Yamato the siege tanks? Have you guys thought about that one? What if I just... I could basically try the same as the last game with Yamato the siege tank. I do think Marine Marauder might be the most fun, though. I think I'm actually just gonna go for that. I like to keep it a little bit crazy. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, forgot to type good luck, have fun. Normally I do type it and then I check still anyway. But this time I actually forgot to type it. My bad. What's his name? Slayers MVP? That's two teams. 2 old teams. If there's any old schoolers in chat, or well, in the comments, you guys will know both Team Slayers and Team MVP, and the player MVP, and the tournament MVP. Yeah, there were a lot of MVPs in StarCraft. Not even kidding, by the way, those actually all existed, so... there you go. Now, he did SCV scout me, which makes me feel a little bit safer. I was kind of worried about getting proxied. But he seems to be playing relatively normal. This is really nice for me. It happened a few times before in this show where I play Reactor first, and the Terran doesn't go to scout the gas. In which case, it just looks like I'm playing a double gas build where I'm going to make a bunch of Reapers. But here, obviously, I'm just going to be going for my standard 2-on-1 stuff. And then, hopefully, we could get into Battlecruisers or Marauders. You know what? I'm going to let my hand decide I'll see what feels like the right idea on the spot. As long as I make a different unit than Marines, right? Else that kind of ruins the purpose of this grand finale over here, and we don't want to have that. Get the second barracks out. It's very common for them to send the Reaper across against Reactor first, because the Reaper should get there, exactly, before it's out. You might not realize this, though. This was a really good timing on the Marines, and that Reaper is probably gonna die. Oh, that is amazing. Wow, he's just gonna straight up lose a Reaper to this. That is fantastic. That is, yeah, the best possible start we could have ever had. Like, you really can't kill Reapers with slow Marines, usually. I did forget to build one Marine myself, so I guess it wasn't completely damage-free. Damageless. I guess both kind of work. At least you guys know what I mean, so that's important. Unscathed. Or untouched. Well, definitely not untouched. Because my poor SCV here is yellow HP. That guy's definitely going to feel sad if I say we were all untouched and he's all bruised up. That's not nice of me. I think I'm just gonna... It's basically... Wait, actually, the last game... We also killed the Reaper, but that Reaper was actually an intentional loss, right? Because I remember that he scouted, he got away, and then he kind of just YOLO'd it through my Marines to try and get a scout. So that was more of an intentional loss. This guy was in no way intending to lose that Reaper, so that's a little bit bigger of a dub. You see, he has a few units here. Oh, I'm gonna go for the Reapers. That's a pretty nice pick-off. He doesn't have the grenade, so he's gonna lose both. Now, decent damage here. But we've seen before that I can actually die. Oh, he's going to lose the Hellion too. Yeah, these strays are absolutely fantastic for me, guys. We've seen before that I can die to these things. And now the risk of dying is very, very small. If he maybe waited for a few extra units, use all of his units combined. Like, imagine he had one extra Reaper and one extra Heli in there, which is very realistic. And all of a sudden I'm left with forfeiting my natural. And that would be, yeah, a pretty bad situation. But now, I think we're just completely fine. Because I'm playing reactive first, I actually have, like, too many Marines for the drop anyway. Normally, if you do a 2-on-1 and you lose, like, 3 Marines, it really sucks. Because you have exactly 16 Marines for your 2 medevacs. But with reactive first, I think I have, like, 20. So, yeah, could be worse, guys. Could definitely be worse. And when am I going to start making Battlecruisers or Marauders or Hellbats? That's the question, right? I think I'm definitely leaning towards BCs because of how the game is going. Seems like I'm gonna... Ooh, there's a drop in my main. I was just gonna say, it seems like I'll be able to get a relatively smooth 2-on-1 drop out. There we go. Oh, actually a pretty good amount of damage on that. Thought I wasn't really gonna hit it at all, but it's actually quite good. Now I'm gonna YOLO a bit because I'm still gonna send out this drop, even though he has a medevac on my side. Which is a little bit insane, but once again, we do like that here. I always find it such a silly move, this... He gets repelled and then he goes into the exact same spot. Oh no. Oh, that hurts. He boosted in and then he picked up without boost in range of my Marines. That was actually a little bit painful. Yeah. Sorry for that. I hope he's not going to have nightmares about that medevac, because that definitely wasn't pretty. No. I guess in this case, yeah, I should just go insane. I'm actually going to go insane. I'm going to get my gases right away. I don't even know if he has units to defend, by the way. Oh no. He has nothing in the main, I think. I don't think he had enough time to make a 3rd factory unit. You see, he's going to unsiege. Which means I'm going to press forward here to force the siege of that tank. And then we'll just kill a tech lab here for free. And a Raven for free. Always nice. Take back off. And now we can actually go to the natural. And the reason why I'm making these gases is because I'm going to go super fast BC. I'm going to make one more. And then how many BCs can I make is the question. Oh. Yeah. That tank is not in range, so I can just keep kind of bullying him over here. I think we're going to get a fusion core and another starport out. Oh, I need to get out there. Ah, ouch. I mean, I think I only lost 2 Marines, but having a tank hit your Marines, it's just like the blast and like the splash graphics. It feels like you lose like 5 million Marines in one shot. I'm going to get that going over there. I have too many SCVs here, so I can use those to perfectly saturate my natural. And I guess what I'm doing here is I'm just going to go from doing mass Marine drops to going triple port BC. And for some reason, I'm going to expect it to work. Actually, I think I have space to drop behind this mineral line here. Want to be as annoying as possible, of course. Any free pickup is, you know, very welcome. Now his tanker probably sieged there already. I can stay here for a little bit because I have combat shield. Now he's probably sieged. Can I escape with the boost? I feel like he could have caught me, but he didn't, so thank you for that, I guess. And now, wait, this is actually way too clean, guys. This is way too clean. Look at this. I actually have both of my Marine upgrades, so I could just put that on the reactor. And then I could just take over the tech lab. Yeah, this is actually illegally clean, how good this build order is. Now, I don't actually have enough gas, so maybe it's not as, you know, hype as I was pretending it to be. But I still think it looks pretty fantastic. So we're going to play Marine Battlecruiser, and I guess... Wait, where is he? There's no way he just left with everything. That is insane. So he's going to attack my base, and I'm going to defend it with Battlecruisers. Okay, this is actually going absolutely ham right now. This is one of the crazier games we could have played. There we go. I'm just going to have to just change this. And I feel like he can never make a unit again. But I'm actually going to end up having BCs. Though he does have one Raven, which is going to have 2 disables. I'm just going to pretend to attack so he sieges. Okay, he doesn't even... Maybe he wasn't even looking, honestly. Actually, I can keep this one landed for a little bit. Please land. Stop being stupid. Thank you. Okay. Here's my first BC. Let's see. He's probably going to... He's not going to disable it? I'm going to just snipe all of his tanks with my one battlecruiser. Why doesn't he use the interference matrix? He's crazy. I got 3 siege tanks already, guys. And I'm going to have 1 more BC finish. I actually think our BCs are... Oh, this is actually going to be beautiful. Watch. It's even going to kill the Viking, I think. There we go. Actually, I wasn't sure. This could have died. I probably would have teleported it back out, to be fair, because I had the teleport available, teleport here. But the BCs actually worked way better than I could have imagined, because cleaning this up with pure Marines would have been difficult. Though obviously I would have had a lot more Marines if I were to commit to a 4th and 5th barracks. But still, very happy with this one. Unit slots looking insane once again. 2 games in a row with the unit slots looking disgusting. Wait, I think that's actually... exactly 4 times the units lost, I believe, right? So that is absolutely incredible. And yeah, what can I say? The momentum is high. Let's keep it going. Another Terran player. Guys, I feel like I might have to pull out something absolutely insane to do with these Terran players, because we just keep getting more and more of these. It does happen sometimes in the grand finale. I think we had one part of the grand finale that might have been... What was the last one? Cyclone Widowmine, I think? Yeah, I think in the Cyclone Widowmine grand finale we had one episode where we just got like 4 freaking Protoss players or something. Now, I do want to play 4 games because we got 8 suggestions, and I would love to be able to use all of them. Now, what am I going to use in this one? You know, I feel like I mostly have units left that don't work as well in TVT. Tanks would obviously work, but I do think it's a little bit too basic. I want to keep it fun and experiment a little bit. I think tanks might be more fun against, like, Protoss, to use it to counter Colossi, stuff like that, right? So, we'll see. Ghost, obviously... If you guys are fans of the Ghost to GM series, if you're not, you should be, because it was amazing. But if you are, you'll know that playing Ghost against Terran was pretty rough. We needed to switch to phase 2 to make that one happen. So, definitely not going to be Ghost. I think Marauders might actually be our best option on paper besides Siege Tanks. I think it's going to be Marauders or Liberators. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think I'm just gonna, you know, do the same thing as last game, because at some point I just got the vibe, okay, this is a battlecruiser game. We're gonna play freaking battlecruisers. Maybe I'll get the same kind of vibe this time. Now let's see if there's any proxy around. I scouted a bit late, so instead of... This is actually an easy trick, by the way. Sometimes you forget to scout. Like, I'm an autopilot. Sometimes I'm just in the middle of a thought talking to you guys, and I'll scout a little bit late. It's always just good to maybe scout around your base instead, because you're gonna arrive at their base too late. So you might as well minimize the chance of instantly dying to something silly by scouting around your own base instead. Now, because I didn't scout his base, I'm actually gonna expand up here, like I have been doing. It just feels a little bit safer, so why not? And maybe I can actually do a really weird sneaky scout. Excuse me. That's gonna arrive later than normal. Like, his Reaper might be on my side of the map. Oh, this is... I really wanted it to path on the bottom. That's annoying. I thought I shift-clicked it properly. But now it's still gonna go through the middle. Actually, it looks like it broke the shift-click on accident. Else it probably wouldn't have gone this way. But now maybe his units are gonna be out on the map. And then I can get back into his base when he's not looking. Now, I should probably wait for about 240. I think 240 is a good timing. That's usually when, like, the Hellion moves out of the base, I believe. Does it sound right? I think it sounds right. It is pretty hard in these TVT scoutings, by the way, because normally, you know, you're thinking about, like, one unit that's leaving the base or so. If you play against Terran, it's like, okay, so the first Reaper finishes here, and then the second Hellion there, and then the first Hellion, and the second Reaper, and the third Reaper, and the fourth Hellion, and at some point you just go insane trying to think about timing. So I'm just gonna go slightly after 240. Should be able to scout his command center. Or lack of command center. Okay, then. I see how it is. Oh, this is... Oh, I'm not happy with this guy. This is going to be such a risky moment. But I'm going to do something really crazy. I'm going to try to get my bunker up here. Because he's on one base, my logic here is that I just don't want him to attack this ramp undefended, while being able to have some presence on the low ground, so I don't lose my base forever. Now, very soon, he's going to be able to have a medevac, and with being able, I mean that the timing for him to have a medevac is going to come. So I need to fill up this bunker, and then just get my other areas. Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I am getting a little bit suspicious, though. I feel like he might have... Like, this could be either a Liberator, or it could also just be that he expanded on the high ground. But I do have to say, expanding on the high ground with his build is pretty crazy. Like, that... I do personally not see a reason for that. Like, his build is already very safe. So I kind of have to imagine there's a starport behind this. But, yeah, it's not here yet. And it is very scary, because, like, the amount of units he had would beat this amount of Marines. So if he does like a Hellion drop with Reapers jumping up and I'm not in position, I could totally just die into it. I'm gonna go for my medevacs and then... I'm really struggling between getting my 3rd CC up like I did in the first game, or getting an extra barracks for my Marauders, basically. Because if I don't get my Marauders in time, they might actually be useless. He's doing a really good job microing here. And pull this one back. I'm just really surprised at where his units are. Like, I feel like I'm not giving the most insightful commentary for the last minute, because I've just been like waiting to get messed up basically by whatever he has, but nothing is really hitting me. So I actually have no idea what this is. I guess it could be a BC. At this point, it could really be anything. So okay, so he's still here with his unit. Wait, that's a lot of Reapers, right? How many Reapers is that? 6? There's way too many Reapers. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, now we're gonna catch him. I think that was a mistake. Well, I do need to get this around here, though. Looks like I might not be able to get it. Yeah. Oh no, I flew my medevacs back. Okay, it looked like a mistake, but he got away with it, so that is sad for us. Now, hopefully, at this point, we just need to hope that my drops just kill everything. And yeah, once again, you can see the, you know, how much Mass Marine struggles with attacks. Wait, he's making... What is he doing? Yeah, I have to say, guys, I think this is a 100% blind counter of the challenge, because this is not a build. It really is not a build. I'd have not exaggerated, but yeah, it did beat us, so it is what it is, but... I do recognize the name as well from Twitch chat, I believe. Yeah, I feel like either this was the worst build ever. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. But I think more likely it was just a blind counter, because... the amount of Reapers didn't really make a lot of sense, and then making only Vikings instead of Ravens to defend the medevacs. I would say 90% sure this was a blind counter to the challenge, because I don't think he really scouted anything, right? Did he? No, he didn't move out on the map at all. Let's look at his opening build. So he is... wait, he just built his expansion very late, didn't he? So, I see. He actually... Yeah, I'm gonna have to be a little bit critical here. What seems to have happened here is that he messed up his build, and that's why his command center was late. Because he's mining 6 in gas. As you can see, he has 230 gas and 35 minerals. This CC is really not supposed to be this late. Unless I'm being crazy right now, I don't think I am. I think this CC is probably at least about 15 seconds late or so. Maybe even more. So now I'm not sure anymore. Maybe his build was just not great. But anyway, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to stay on track that he was blind countering me. That makes the most sense. And I want to give credit where credit's due. And now that is our first loss. We didn't get to make any unit other than Marines and medevacs, which does leave us an extra option for the next game. Let's go for game number 4. We got a Zerg. Okay, finally a non-Terran. Last game of the day, a Grandmaster Zerg from Team Alpha X. Now, what is the coolest unit to use against Zerg? I think... Wait, is it a... How does he get that smiley face? What the hell? I'm gonna look at it in the dark. Let's. I want to switch you guys to dark mode. Oh, that is... What the... I've never seen that before in my entire life. In my entire being in StarCraft. All I can do is write a Good Luck Have Fun back. I feel a little bit lame. I'm not as cool as him in the Good Luck Have Fun game, so that's a little bit unfortunate here. Now, I think the unit I really wanted to try out against Zerg is the Hellbats, because Hellbats is... I actually talked with this about this with a student a few days ago only, about Hellbats against Zerg. A lot of people always theorycraft. Why do people not use Hellbats against Zerg, you know? Why don't they use them to soak up the Banelings? They're good against Lynx. If you want an answer to that question, it doesn't work. Very simply put, Hellbats also die to Banelings, so what happens usually is that they just make more Banelings and your entire army, they can just A-move straight through it. They don't need to micro against mines or anything like that. But it does give some cool micro potential, especially if you do it early on enough. Now, what kind of build do I want to do that fits with it? Because I could go for a Marine Hellbat attack. I don't necessarily want to end the game super fast, though. I think it would be really fun if I could actually get like a... Not a long macro game, because that would just be really bad for me playing only Marines with Hellbats. But maybe like a little bit of a mid game could be nice. I'm getting tortured a little bit by mosquitoes here. Thought I have a thing laying around that kills mosquitoes. Probably should have installed that. So I don't have to scratch my face and, you know, hit myself all the time when I'm recording a video. Now, I do think I can probably get away with a 3cc build, like a fast third command center. I mean, I'm kind of trying to figure it out as we go. As I'm talking to you guys, my brain is working overtime to figure out what build actually works here. And I think I could go for a 3cc build and then just try to hit super fast. It does feel weird to play 3cc with Marine Medevac, because the only reason 3cc is a good build, and just so you guys are not getting confused, a fast 3cc build, you would be making the CC in about 15 seconds from now or so. Like, just super fast. One gas, no starport, that's a 3cc build. If you have a starport or a second gas, it's already not a 3cc build, you're doing a 2-base opener. The only thing is that it gets held together by the fact that you have Hellions. Hellions can control the entire map very easily, and I'm not going to be able to make those, so I really have no idea if this build is going to work out at all. But I guess we will find out. There we go. I saw an over to the right side. There's a chance the overlord is traveling right now. That would probably be the perfect moment to get in there. I would... Oh, no, it's already there. Ah, that sucks. I think I'm going to go for the kill here. I mean, now I have all these Marines, I might as well, I think. There we go. This is the swagger play of the year, guys. Hello? Command center, fly a little bit faster, please. There we go. Beautiful. Now I can already fly it back. Now this is actually going to be a fine trade for me. Let's get the healthy Marine in the front. 4 Marines do beat 2 Zerglings if microed properly. There you go. But he did actually get away with the Overlord, so... I mean, I got 4 Zerglings for it. For flying away my command center. Don't think it is quite good enough, though. Obviously, he could have flown here from the start. Now let's get a factory up. Macro behind... Well, I even misplaced it when I landed it back. So I guess I did more damage to myself than to him. But he doesn't know that, guys. That's the most important, okay? It's all about the mental game. He doesn't know that I misplaced my command center. There we go. You come here, you come here. There we go. And all back. Oh, that was actually pretty clean. Normally there's a few SCVs that like start derping like crazy when you do something like that. But this was actually not so bad. Now, I might have to make an additional reactor. Or steal this reactor. Because... I need to make Medevacs and Hellbats. If I make the Hellbats too late, they're kind of going to lose its purpose. Like I said, Hellbats really get owned by Banelings, so they thrive the most if you hit with them before Banelings are out. So obviously I don't want to make them too late. Now when there's Overlords like this, you always have to be careful that it might be a bait. In this case, we already know he has Zerglings in front of our base, so gotta make sure to split my units and keep a few at the front here. And then how many gases do I need? Probably not that many. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit weird because I basically should play this like I'm playing Bio. But the amount of Hellions that I'm gonna make, Hellions build super fast, by the way, is gonna be a little bit crazy. Like, I'll need so many minerals for that. I'm not sure if it's wise for me... Oh, I didn't hotkey my third location. I'm not sure if it's wise for me to... Well, I actually forgot the reactor. Well, now I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Now I just have to make both reactors. Alright. Not the hottest start to a game I've ever had, guys. I'll be honest. This definitely could have been a little bit cleaner. Now, I could actually totally get... What is it called? I could totally get a blue flame as well. Now, that's something you normally never get. Because, you know, Hellbats kind of own links anyway, so unless you're like playing mech and you have the resources for it, usually you don't really get it. But here it would actually be pretty cool. I have so much money, I'm not quite sure what to do with all my money here. It's a little bit of a confusing build. I'm gonna throw down a scan. Okay, so the lair is late. That's pretty comforting. If the lair was already done, we would have to be scared of like Mutalisk, for example, flying into our bases, but right now there's nothing really to worry about. Besides the fact that my build has really not been that successful. I have no gas to make medevacs, which means the pressure I'm putting on this Zerg is way too little. I'm definitely going to get out macroed here. Regardless of mechanical skills, like obviously I'm mechanically a bit better than him. If you leave a Zerg alone, they will just out macro you. Like Zerg has insane production if you don't pressure them, if you don't force them to spend larva on units. Yeah, you're just gonna get out macro. Doesn't matter if they're worse than you or not. That's just kind of how it works. So I'm gonna get my first medevac out there. You see I'm making some Hellions. I guess now I actually should... Oh no, this SUV is probably stuck, right? Yeah, it is gonna be stuck there. No, where the hell are you guys going? That has to be the dumbest pathing I've ever seen. Did they really just try to mine the mineral from here? Or did I see it the wrong way? If they were actually trying to do that, I'm writing an angry email about that, because I'm not a happy customer right now. Also getting supply block. Ooh, guys, this is actually... What's going on? This is like the worst game I've played in a week, at least. This is not clean at all. Now, oh, he has a... Holy crap, it's a lot of Zerglings. That is gonna be unpleasant. And like I said, we are getting out macroed already. And yeah, it's just... You know, what I was saying stands true. If you don't pressure a Zerg, you are typically gonna get owned. So... Oh, he doesn't actually have links here. Mosquito is trying to sit on my nose while I'm playing this game. That is probably the rudest distraction tactic I've ever seen. Let's see, he doesn't have a lot of links here. I thought he was gonna have more. If he tries to fight me... Oh, he's losing so many drones! How is this job so successful? I flew straight over his creep. I showed him everything. He is making a hive there, by the way. Not just the infestation pit, he's actually making a freaking hive. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to survive that. Now, the biggest problem is I just have no medevacs. Like, I can move out with this army, but it just doesn't look very strong to me. Like, how are my units supposed to win if they can't get healed? I'm basically killing my own units by stimming them, and then I can't even heal them back up. That's a little bit tragic. Now, I think I'm just going to try to attack his base on the top. Ooh. Yeah. With my one medevac. Blue Flame is going to finish throughout all of it at some point. Oh, I didn't expect him to do that. That's why I didn't look. That's my bad. Seemed like he was going to leave those alone, actually. It's kind of crazy that he went for those, but it worked out really well for him. Now, do I have enough Hellbats to make something happen? That's not a lot of Banelings. He does have a lot, though. The reason why I'm going so hard on creep is because it just feels like I need to make something happen right now. There we go. How much does he have? I'm not sure if he has that much. I just don't have... Oh no, my medevacs. I thought I called them with my army. I really need those. If he amos this with 15 Banelings, I would lose everything. So this is looking a bit tragic. And yeah, here you can see why I didn't want to make gas. I'm not making any gas units, so now I'm just banking like crazy. I just killed my own... Wait, he's gonna go for this? Okay. Alright then. We take those fights. That is perfectly fine with me. Split the Hellbats. As you can see, they melt just like instantly against the Banelings. This game has been pretty tragic, but I mean, so far we're still in it. So I guess that's nice. See, can I target down those Banes? There we go. All dead. He's morphing some Banelings in the back. So instead of trying to go for the win here, I'm actually going to go for the drones. There we go. I mean, if he wants to attack this, I'm totally fine with it. I'm getting more and more Hellbats, which means that he does need to overwhelm me. If he doesn't overwhelm me, he can't really break this. There we go. Only one Baneling left, and it's target fired. Wait, did we actually break him with this absolutely horrible build and attack? That would be... I mean, I guess we shouldn't complain about it, but that would be surprising, I guess I should say. Not bad, not silly, just surprising. Let me build a creep over here. I need some more medevacs, man. Like, all my boys are so low HP. I have a little bit of energy left, but not that much. Getting servos faster would have definitely been nice. Okay, if he wants to fight this, I'm down. I'm going to be able to micro this well enough. Now, if I can give you a tips about micro, by the way, you should always just be pre-split instead of trying to micro like that, because it is going to go wrong, and you are going to lose all your stuff, and you will be sad. So just pre-split, and make sure you don't actually have to run away like that, because usually it goes pretty wrong. So there you go. Now, I have to say there's one thing that's really good about this style. I don't think it's a good composition, but what is good about it is that it's maybe a little bit easier to snowball. Because the reinforcements are so fast with the Hellions kind of like driving in, and then like 3 more Hellions showing up at all times. Like the reinforcements are insane. So if you're like winning a fight already, the snowball potential is pretty crazy. Splits were good enough. Oh, I made a mine. Let's kill it before I win the game. There we go. Gotta stay honest with ourselves, guys. Okay, these are gonna finish, else he wouldn't be going in with the Banelings. And there we go. Yeah, I was not proud of this game, guys. You guys could see it. I mean, to be fair, I was getting tortured a little bit. The start was rough, and I'm not kidding, I had a mosquito that was like, just like going all over the place, landing on my hands when I was trying to micro. I guess that's part of the challenge, the mosquito challenge. Don't recommend it. It was very annoying. But today, we won with Ravens, we won with Battlecruisers, and we won with Hellbats. For the next episode, I'll be trying to make use of the other units that are left. Ghosts, Liberators, Marauders, Thors, and Tanks. See if we can fit them in. Probably won't get all of them, but we will get most. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel. See you all for the next one. Adios.